All right, well, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on today's session. We're going to be talking about how to triple your sales by getting your internet marketing right in your plumbing or HVAC business. I am super excited about this. I've been talking on this concept for plumbing and HVAC contractors since 2011. Back in 2014, I published what is currently the best-selling book on internet marketing for plumbing and HVAC called How to Triple Your Sales by Getting Your Internet Marketing Right. And over the last year, we've been revisiting this content. We've been updating it. We've got a completely updated or revised version of the book that's coming live. Will be on the bookshelves by the end of Q4 2019 into 2020. And so I'm really excited. This will be the first time I'm unpacking this new information. And it's all based on real-world case studies. So, I mean, this is what's working with real plumbing, HVAC, home service companies across the country for marketing themselves online and really maximizing their lead flow via the internet. So I'm excited to share it. If you're watching this in the comments, I like to make this as interactive as possible. Give me like a sounds great, I'm pumped. If you're watching on Facebook, a thumbs up, just so I can know that I've got your attention and we're ready to rock and roll here. So somebody put something like that in the comments so we can kick things off. Boom. Love your website. We can, or I'm super excited to learn today. Okay, great. All right. Fantastic. Thank you guys. Phil says ready to go. So have you ever wondered what it would be like to have a dominant web presence that positioned you as the top plumbing or HVAC company in your area? Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have a flood of prospects calling into your business on a consistent basis that found you online? And have you ever wondered what it would be like to know that your internet marketing strategy was working, so you didn't have to worry about it, and you didn't have to constantly be thinking about it and revisiting it? Well, that's exactly what I want for you. I want you to have all of that stuff, and you're about to discover a blueprint covering what the most important online marketing mediums that you should be tapping into in your plumbing or HVAC business. We're going to talk about how to get ranked on page 1 for the most important plumbing and HVAC related keywords in your service area, a proven strategy to get ranked on the Google map by really having a good solid foundation. We're going to share a step-by-step strategy for leveraging social media to drive more repeat and referral business. And we're really going to show you how you can double or triple the amount of leads and calls that you get via the internet. So I'm super excited to share some of these ideas and tactics with you. I'll just kind of share high level who I am and why you want to listen. Again, I'm the author of How to Triple Your Sales by Getting Your Internet Marketing Right, the baseline foundation for this book. I'm active in the PHCC, QSC, Service Roundtable. A lot of my articles on internet marketing have been published in Contractor Magazine, HVAC Insider, Plumbing and Mechanical Magazine. But I'd say more important than any of that stuff, and that stuff is all interesting and useful, I'd say more important than that, at this point, I've had the opportunity to work with hundreds of plumbing and HVAC companies in some of the most competitive markets across the United States, and been able to take a lot of them from virtual obscurity online to the point where they're now the dominant player in their local market. And I've got just a couple of images of some of the clients we've had the honor to work with. And so, the reason you should listen to what I'm sharing is because what I share isn't based on theory. It's not based on a seminar that I said in one day. It's not based on some rough experience, with small business. It's based on actually working with plumbing, HVAC, home service companies just like yours. And at this point, our team has rolled out well over 300 plumbing and HVAC websites. We actively monitor and keep a pulse on Google Analytics and other analytic data for several hundred plumbing and HVAC websites. So, like, what we know is proven, and there's data to back it up, and we're doing this all day, every day. And so that's why this is a great session for you to be on, and this is the right person to be learning from because it comes from a place of real-world experience with companies just like yours. And this is what we do here at Plumbing and HVAC SEO. We got a team of 30 full-time employees. We're based in Miami, Florida. I've got a picture of our team up. We made the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies the last 4 years in a row. So, I mean, we're completely passionate about helping plumbing and HVAC companies maximize their lead flow online, take their businesses to the next level. As a matter of fact, we're on a mission as a company to help 1,000 plumbing and HVAC companies triple their sales over the next 10 years. And I'm going to share some of the case studies and people that we've helped accomplish that throughout the course of this session. And just know that, while this isn't a sales pitch, obviously, if you're interested in talking with us about how we can implement this for you, the strategies I'm going to be sharing with you, the tactics I'm going to be sharing with you, we'd love the opportunity to talk and just kind of take a look at what you have in place and show you how we could help and what that would look like in the real world. So let's dive in. Let's really get into the meat and potatoes here. Let's talk about how to maximize your lead flow with marketing strategies and online marketing strategies that work. And so, like I said, I'm going to make this as case study driven and real world data as possible. So I figure the best place to start is with the case study. I want to talk about Mark Norman from Shamrock Plumbing. Mark Norman is a full service plumbing, drain cleaning, repiping contractor based in Orlando, Florida. We started doing business with him back in 2011. And really prior to that, he had run his business almost exclusively in the Yellow Pages. Like there was a time as the owner of a plumbing or HVAC business, like that's where you advertised. And because that's where the customers looked when they needed help. That's where they looked when they needed your services. And so he had been relatively successful with a half-page ad in the Yellow Pages, running that consistently, getting calls, keeping himself busy, making a living. But then somewhere in the mid-2000s, he started to recognize that there was a gap. The Yellow Page ads just weren't working the way that they once did. Phones weren't ringing. He was starting to worry about how he was going to pay his bills, starting to think he might have to go out and get a regular job. And so it kind of begged the question for him was, where did the customers go? Like if they weren't looking in the Yellow Pages, where were they looking? And of course, what he discovered, and probably what a lot of you have discovered since you're watching this training or you're participating in this process, is that the customers shifted online, right? They started going to Google. They started going to Yelp. They started going to Yelp and to Angie's List and to these other online directories and online sites. And actually, statistics will tell you more than 97% of your customers are using the internet in some fashion, whether it's search, whether it's Facebook, whether it's social, when they're looking for home service related services. And so that was the answer to that question was, okay, the customers have moved from the Yellow Pages to online. And this is not a revelation at this point for any of us. And so what he had to figure out and what you need to figure out in your business is how do you own the internet in your area? Like you used to be able to own the Yellow Page ad. Like you could own that real estate and people made their living by doing that. And so if you can do the same thing and own the internet in your service area, you can create a lot of phone calls, a lot of leads, and a lot of opportunity for your business. And so Mark decided he needed to figure out the internet thing, right? He was like, okay, if they're not on Yellow Pages anymore, then I need to make sure that I've got an internet strategy that's going to work. And so he tried a couple things. The first thing he did was he hired the Yellow Page guy, right? The Yellow Page guy that had sold him the double truck or the half page ad over the years. And kind of came in and said, hey, yeah, we can get you online. Like we'll set you up and we'll make sure that you're on the internet and that you're showing up where people are looking. And so he did that, right? And he invested, I think at the time it was like $1,500 a month. And the internet guy was gonna, Yellow Page guy was gonna get him on the internet. And he let that run for a little bit, and it just kind of fell flat. Like it was an investment that didn't really produce a lot of calls. It didn't produce a lot of opportunity. And what he found with that particular strategy, the issue was, while he had a website now and he was showing up on yellowpages.com, there was a couple problems. The first problem was the website didn't show up where the customers were looking. Like people weren't going to yellowpages.com. They were going to Google. They were going to Angie's List. They were going to Thumbtack in some cases. They were going to some of these other places. And predominantly they were going to Google search, right? And he was nowhere to be found. If you searched for, plumber in Orlando, repipe service in Orlando, those types of keywords, he wasn't there. And the other problem with this strategy from the Yellow Pages was that they gave him a very cookie cutter based website. It was just a template. It said plumber Orlando, had a phone number, listed his services, and that was it. So even if somebody managed to find their way to his website, it didn't have any reason for somebody to want to choose him versus the competition. So clearly this was a failed proposition. It wasn't going to work the way that he had thought or the way that he had planned. And so it was back to the drawing board. And at the time, he was approached by one of the aggressive pay-per-click management companies. Might have been, it was either Yodel or Reach Local, and they came in and said, look, we're going to get you ranked on Google and Yahoo. We're going to really put some aggressive tracking in place so we can track exactly how many calls come in, and you're gonna blow up, right? You're just going to be super busy. Life is going to be grand, and so. He said, okay, let's do it. And he came in, I think it was $2,500 a month, spin the dice, let's see how it goes. And this strategy actually worked a lot better than the Yellow Page strategy at the time, because now he was showing up where people looked. He was showing up on Google. He was showing up on Yahoo. But it felt like no matter what he did, he tried this for about 6 to 9 months, no matter what he did, he would generate enough calls and enough service revenue to barely cover the expense. So if he was at $2,000 a month, he would just kind of break even on that. Not enough to really make a profit, not enough to really grow the business. And so that was frustrating. It was like, okay, I need a strategy that's actually going to produce a positive return on investment and will produce positive growth in my business. And so the kind of the issue with this strategy that a lot of these pay-per-click, exclusive pay-per-click companies have is that, first of all, the majority of people, believe it or not, still click on the organic listings. Like they click on the map listings and they click on the non-paid listings. And if you're just doing a pay-per-click strategy like this, you're missing out on some of the lowest cost, highest quality leads. The other problem with this strategy was that they were landing on the old Yellow Page website still. So it was just a very basic templatized website, didn't have any personality, didn't have any authenticity, didn't have any reason for somebody to choose them versus the competition. So he was back to the drawing board, and we were able to put a strategy in place that really made sure he was ranking where his customers were looking. So he was ranking in the paid listings, he was ranking in the organic listings, he was ranking really on Google, on Yahoo, on Bing, more Google and Bing at this point. And we rolled out a new website that was built to convert, so that when visitors got there, they got to know, like, and trust Mark a little bit. They got to understand why somebody should choose him versus the competition. They saw some differentiation, and this is when his business started to take off. And I'll kind of show you some of the data behind this. But again, it's not just about showing up in the paid listings. It's not just about showing up in Google local service ads. It's about really showing up and dominating the search results where your customers are looking. So, we rolled out a website that definitely was more personality based. And I'm going to talk about how to set up your website to make sure that it converts. But if you can put the pictures of your team, pictures of yourself, and speak to why somebody should choose you versus the competition, and speak to their subconscious buying triggers, you can convert really well and you can get great results online. So we rolled out a website that was built to convert. We made sure that his website was optimized and started showing up for just about every plumbing related terms in and around the Orlando area, or Orlando plumber, Orlando plumbing, Orlando water heater repair, Orlando drain cleaning, and the surrounding cities and towns as well. So if you were to search like Kissimmee, St. Cloud, plumber, plumbing, drain cleaning, he ranks really well for a lot of that stuff. And really the strategy has grown over the years from just SEO to SEO plus pay-per-click and retargeting, and we're going to unpack the online dominance method. But I just want to show you the results, because sometimes you sit on sessions like this and you're like, okay, what's the impact? If I get this stuff right, if I get these things in place, how will it really impact my business? How will it impact my call volume? And so here, back in 2007, we started with him back in 2011, and he was a one-man operation. He was just getting started. I think from the Yellow Pages, he might have been generating 20 to 30 calls any given month, and that was a good month for him. So fast forward, I'm just going to look over the last 3 years here. 2017, we kind of have a dashboard where we track how many calls he got from organic, how many came from pay-per-click, how many came via web forms, what his total investment is. So 2017, 230 calls via the internet. Right here you can see that's the number of leads via the internet. 2018, so this is last year in September, 97 calls via the internet with a nominal increase in the expense. 2019, so this last year, 586 calls. So I mean, these are leads tracked via the internet, and he was actually able to triple his sales, mainly because his his technician conversion rate improved, his conversion rate over the phone improved, and his volume of leads just about tripled over that 3-year span of time. And so really what this meant for him and what it meant for the Shamrock Plumbing Company, he was able to grow from just himself, just barely making a living, to really have a team of trucks and a team of a real operation that's running on a consistent basis. He ran from a one-man operation doing $250,000 a year to over $1.5 million and growing on a very consistent basis. He expanded from 1 guy to 7 guys. I think most importantly is that now his company, his team, has the confidence in sustained lead flow. Like, they know they can get leads every single month. They can dispatch guys. They can make sure that those guys are trained and they can convert at a high level out in the field. And they've got a knob that they can turn. Really, if you look at the online dominance method and what we're going to be unpacking for you, you really have the ability to tap into almost an unlimited flow of leads by tapping into the not just SEO, but paid search and paid online directories, social media advertising, all kinds of ways to really maximize your lead flow online. And so I just want you to think for a minute what it would mean to you. Like, what impact would that have if you could get 200 to 500 leads every single month via the internet? What impact would it have for you if you knew that you had a controllable strategy where if you were like, okay, we're ready to bring on that next truck, we're ready to bring on that next tech, you knew that you had a knob that you could turn to kind of increase the volume and really keep your guys busy and keep your business growing and expanding. Post in comments, like, what would that mean to you in your business, in your plumbing or HVAC organization? So let's talk about the strategy. So here was the strategy. We were able to update the website for SEO and really make sure that it was able to convert. We were able to make sure that the website was optimized for mobile visits. Fact is, almost 60 or 70% of your visitors today are getting to your website from a mobile device. We really started and focused on organic SEO, making sure that the website ranked in the non-paid listings by building authority, building content on the website, creating links, creating citations, building online reviews. I'll kind of unpack this for you in depth as we go. We were able to get active on social media, make sure we were present on Facebook and Twitter and Google+. Started leveraging email marketing, so making sure we had a database of his customers and his prospects, and we were nurturing them on a consistent basis. And over time, we started to implement paid advertising strategies. So Google pay-per-click advertising, Google local service ads in his service area, which is big and something you guys should all be paying attention to. Paying to play in some of the paid online directories like Angie's List and Yelp. And then most importantly, making sure we've got tracking in place to really track how many leads are coming in, what's our conversion rate, what's our average cost per lead, what does that look like across our website. And so that's the big picture. I don't want to get too much into the weeds, but I want to paint the big picture so that we can then shift to really implementing this in your plumbing, HVAC, or home services business. So kind of give me a yes if it's helpful to kind of see some case studies and see some real world examples, as opposed to just get links, get citations, do this, that, and the other. I'm gonna give me yes. Okay, that's valuable. Good. Awesome. So I'm just going to show you. So if we pull Google up and we type in Orlando Plumber, you'll see the #1 spot here is Shamrock Plumbing. He's got the #1 listing and really a pretty competitive market. And he's not the 100-pound gorilla. There are much bigger companies in this market. And so I just want to kind of talk a little bit about what it is that makes this a reality for him in his business. So the first is he's got a good website that's built to convert. He's got a great optimized Google My Business listing, and it's got lots of reviews. He's got 923 reviews from real customers in his real service area. And if we pull up his website, you'll see, it's got personality. It's not a cookie cutter website. We're seeing Mark, the owner himself, and it's talking about 24-hour emergency service. No nights or weekend or overtime rates, which is not everyone does that, but in his case, he actually does. Very simple, step-by-step. Here's what you should do next to schedule your appointment. Over 1,308 reviews from across the web. And you'll see, I'm going to talk more about how to optimize the website and how you get this website to rank for a variety of keywords. But part of it is making sure you have pages for each of the services that you provide. and making sure that you have pages for the sub-cities and surrounding towns that you operate in. So again, the numbers don't lie. Over 500 leads generated from the internet for this particular company in Orlando, Florida. So I want to share a couple other case studies, and then we're going to dive into the meat and potatoes and kind of show you how you can implement this. This isn't an isolated case, right? At this point, we work with hundreds of companies. I could spend the better part of this day just showing you example after example. Here's the client. Here's where they rank. Here's how many leads they get. Here's their average cost per lead. But I want to show a couple, right? I want to at least show a couple. So here's an example. So I showed a plumbing example. I want to show a kind of a full service example. Meridian Home Services, company based in East Lansing, Michigan. They generated over 620 leads via the internet over the last 30 days, implementing a very similar strategy to what we talked about, and that we're going to be going into depth on with the remainder of our time on this session. So they're based in East Lansing. They're full service. They do plumbing, HVAC, remodeling, and electrical. And I just want to show you, last year I did a case study for this client where we're just tracking how many leads did they get, how much did they spend, what was their average cost per lead. And last year they had 533 leads around the same period of time, about an average of $11 per lead. Fast forward a year later, and you think 533, that's pretty much probably capped out in terms of what's potential in a market like East Lansing, Michigan. This is not Los Angeles. This is not New York City. We're talking about East Lansing, Michigan. Fast forward this past year, 652 leads via the internet. And so if we kind of break this down, they had a total investment to get there of $8,133. So that's what they invested in our services, to manage their internet marketing strategy and their paid spend. So across Google and other properties like that. And these leads came from 186 organic, so that means someone searched for them on Google and they came up. 181 came from paid search, so somebody clicked on one of the paid ads, and 271 of the leads came from Google Maps, so clicking on them in the 3-pack. And so I share this example just to kind of show you, you have to make sure you've got a diversified strategy. If all you did was pay-per-click advertising, you'd be leaving a lion's share of the lead flow on the table. And vice versa, if all you did was organic, you'd be leaving a lot of the opportunity on the table. So you want a multi-channel strategy. And their average cost per lead across all services, plumbing, HVAC, electrical, and remodeling, just $12.47 if you divide the investment by the number of leads, which is really good. Like, they've been able to see significant growth and significant momentum as a function of this. And so if we look at the overall strategy, that is a website that's built to convert. I'm going to show that to you now. Proactive SEO strategy, which means pages for each of the services, great on-page optimization, aggressive content development and link building back to the home page and the subsidy pages throughout the site. Strong Google Maps optimization, making sure that they come up in the 3-pack on Google Maps. A focus on online reviews and reputation. You're going to find this a theme across every one of the case studies. The clients that win provide a world-class experience. They've got a strategy to get reviews from almost every client that they work with or every customer they work with, and they're able to kind of position themselves as the go-to because they've got more online reviews. A strategic paid search campaign targeting the higher ticket services, making sure that we're not bleeding paid search, but we're really spending that money wisely, getting an affordable cost per lead. Strong social presence, email marketing, and precision tracking of the metrics. How many clicks, how many calls, average cost per lead. And so I'll just pull this up for you so you guys can kind of see it and get a sense for it. Again, I've got a bunch of tabs open because I've got a lot of examples that I want to show you to make this as applicable as possible. So if we go to East Lansing AC Repair, so they do AC repair, they do remodeling. You can see they come up really strong here in the Google Map listings. They come up really strong in the organic listings. And if we pull up their website, again, this is just a great case study because we're talking about 630 leads last month were driven from this company through their online marketing strategy. You can see great use of multimedia, professional videos that kind of tell the story subconsciously of the company. Strong call to action, speaking to the to the subconscious buying triggers of the customer. Video on just about every page of the website, and you could go into this in more depth. So a good website that's built to convert, responds very nicely from a mobile perspective. So it's really easy to call them and to create the next step. And from an SEO perspective, the reason it ranks so well, again, it's because of the reviews. It's because of the on-page optimization. Pages for each of the services, pages for each of the cities that they operate in. So it's an in-depth online marketing strategy and an online marketing play. So that's the strategy there, generating over 600 leads per month directly via the internet. So now let's apply this to your business. Right? We've seen the examples. We've seen what's possible. We've kind of seen the high level. Now what I want to do is kind of dive into our worksheet, dive into the overall strategy, and make sure that you guys have something that you can leave the session with that's like, okay, here's exactly what I can, would, should do in order to implement this in my business. So the workbook, Christian, if you don't mind, pop this back into the top of the chat. The worksheet that we're going through is really a checklist, is downloadable at plumberseo.net/handout. plumberseo.net/handout. You can download that. And what I'd like you to do is, as we're going through this, make a note of the things you need to implement in your online marketing strategy. Because it'll be clear to you, okay, well, we need to do that. Or, hey, we need to implement this. And find the one or two things that are going to have the biggest impact that you can implement right away to really make today's session as productive and useful as possible. So the first one is to make sure you have a website. And I know this is, almost all of you can check this and say, I've got a website. Mission critical to have, your company, TomJonesPlumbing.com or whatever the name of your company is, .com. I do not recommend, for the website especially, I don't recommend redirecting it to a Facebook page. I've seen a lot of people kind of preaching this a little bit lately. Well, the fact is, if you don't have a website and you're redirecting to a Facebook page, there's no way to really optimize for all of the different keywords your customers might type in. There's no way to control the experience that your prospect has. So definitely you want a website for your company. The second question, that's a little bit more in depth on there is, does your company show up in search? And what I mean by this, is it showing up in the non-paid listings when somebody looks for you? Like, are you showing up in the local service ads? Are you showing up in the Google Map listings? Are you showing up in the organic non-paid listings? And it's going to be hard for you to answer this right on today's session. This is probably more homework for you. You want to go back and you want to think about, like, what are the most common things that a customer would type in when they need my services? It's probably yours, like if you're an HVAC company, your city AC repair, heating repair, HVAC contractor, right? And you want to see, like, are you showing up, and do you have dominance for the keywords in your service area? And so in order to help with this, I've provided you guys with a list of the most commonly searched keywords, because it's more than just plumber and plumbing. For plumbing, it's plumbing, drain cleaning, water heaters, repiping, gas line repair, right? There's a lot of different keywords that your customer might type in when they need your services. So you want to spend a little time and develop a list, your city plus these services, and then run some searches and see where you rank. Are you on the first page? Are you in the first couple of results? If not, that represents an opportunity. So we've got the list of plumbing keywords. We've also got the list of HVAC keywords for those of you that are HVAC. It's air conditioning repair, air conditioner. Sometimes it's brand connected to it. And so you've got the list. If you weren't able to get this written down while we're going today, send a message via email to me or to Christian, and we'll get this for you. The other thing we'd be glad to do for you would be to develop a custom list of keywords on your behalf. So what we'd be glad to do is say, okay, based on your services and in your service area, these are the most commonly searched keywords. So we would be glad to provide that for you completely free of charge. We'd also be glad to run a report for you that will show you exactly where you rank on Google, on Yahoo, on Bing, just so you can see, right? Awareness precedes change. And you'll never know if you don't, like, if you could run 100 searches, you could spend hours compiling a report, or you could let us do it for you, let us do the analysis and show you, hey, look, it looks great, you're ranking for everything, or hey, look, you're not, and here's where you're missing the boat, right? So if that sounds interesting to you, in comments, say, hey, Christian, reach out to me, and we'll make sure to reach out to you. We'll run that report for you. We'll show you exactly where you're at, exactly what the opportunity is for you in your business. So that's the first checkbox here in our workbook, is does your company rank for the most important keywords, right? And really this step is create the list, run the report, and do an analysis. Good, bad, or indifferent, you need to know where you rank. Because if you're not ranking, your customers are looking, or your prospects are looking, and they're clicking and they're getting to your competition. So you can either personal message Christian, you can personal message me, you can put it into chat, you can shoot us an email, and we'll be glad to do that homework for you, again, completely free of charge. So now if we know whether the website ranks or not, we have to decide whether it's properly optimized, right? And there's very specific things you can do on your website in order to make sure that it ranks for your most important keywords. And so, there's encyclopedias worth of information about how to optimize a website for the search engines. And really, it can get confusing, it can get overwhelming. What I want to do is give you the 80-20 on this. The 20% of things you can look at on your website that would tell you optimized yes or optimized no. Does that sound good? How many of you guys would like to know the 20%, like the basic stuff that actually drives 80% of the result in terms of getting your plumbing or HVAC website ranked on page 1? Somebody put in comments, yes, I'd like the 20%, shortcut this for me something, that way I know I'm on the right page and we're going in the right direction. Okay, Yana says yes. Chris says yes, simple is best. Okay, great. Let me show you, and I'll use another example. So, company we work with in Mason, Ohio is Seo Plumbing. So I ran a search for, let's just Google search this, Mason plumber. Up comes Seo Plumbing, and also #1 in the organic results. So something's been done right? And something's been done to get this company ranked in the #1 spot in their service area. So I want to walk you through this and show you the 20% that drives 80% of the results. So the very first thing is the title tag, which is this area up here. You see this is called a title tag. You want to have your keyword in the title tag. So plumber in Cincinnati, Seo Plumbing Services, right? So you want plumber if you're a plumber, HVAC if you're HVAC or heating and cooling. You want to get that keyword in the title. You want to get it in the H1, which is this spot right here. And then you want to have good, unique content throughout the page that kind of restates that, right? From an on-page optimization perspective, that's what you want to look at. Title tag, H1 tag, content on the page. And usually, if you get your keywords in those areas, you're pretty well set up to rank at least, on page. And we're going to talk about off page after in a minute, like what determines whether you're in the first spot or the 19th spot. But at least from an on-page optimization perspective, you've put your best foot forward. So that's baseline fundamental. From there, we find is a lot of the SEO leads and traffic that you get as plumbing, HVAC, home service companies comes from the long tail. So it's not just plumber, it's Mason drain cleaning services and Mason water heater repair and all of those different keywords. And so if you want to rank for that long list of keywords that I just showed you on the last screen, really what you want to do is you want to create pages for each of the different services that you provide. And so, we've got a page for drain cleaning, we've got a page for slab leak repair, we've got a page for burst pipe repair, we've got a page for repiping. And if we hit any of these pages, the same basic principles apply, right? Up in the title tag, we want the name of the city combined with the service, as Cincinnati, repiping, Seo Plumbing, repiping in Mason. And then in the H1, Mason, repiping. And then we want unique content, so content that's only on this page across the internet that restates what that service is and why this page is the best page on the internet for that keyword, Mason repiping. And as bonus, if you could, shoot a quick video talking about that service that you can embed on that page. That really helps with the on-page optimization.
Are you thinking about repiping your home?
Don't go to Average Joe. Call NIXCO.
That's right, Nixco.
Your house, maybe they're leaking, maybe you don't have.
We're your guys, and we specialize in this, and we're really good at it, and here's why you should call us, right? So we want proper on-page optimization. We want pages for each of our services, and then we want pages for the cities that we operate in. We find most plumbing and HVAC contractors serve between a 25 and 50-mile radius. So, yeah, Mason is where he's based, but he wants to rank in the surrounding areas like Hyde Park and Middletown and Loveland and all of these other places. So if we want to rank in these surrounding cities and surrounding towns, really what we need is a page on the website for each one of those with the proper on-page optimization and unique content. So here at the top, we've got plumbing, repairs, and installation, Lebanon, Ohio, right? And then we've got Lebanon area, plumbing, right? So we've got the keyword, the title, and the H1. And the other thing that we do that kind of gives our clients a competitive advantage is we use a tool called Nearby Now. And this is it's an app basically that captures where service is done, get some data, urinals unclogged, flushing bathroom toilet nearby, whatever. And as new service calls are done, and they're going all over the place, they're going from Mason to Loveland to Monroe, new unique content is automatically being pushed through a short code and through a widget that hits their website. And that's how we're able to get their website ranked in a variety of cities and a variety of towns. So yeah, that app is called Nearby Now. It's intended that the technicians check in from their phone. So they hit check in and grab their GPS data and they type a description. And that's great. In a lot of cases, though, our clients have started using integrations. So in their case, I believe they use Service Titan. So as they close a job in Service Titan, it captures the location, it pushes it to Nearby Now, and it kind of streamlines that entire process. So it's click and done. So best case scenario, you'd have that. Worst case scenario, you'd train your techs, you'd hold them accountable to check in, and it helps to create this unique geo-modified content throughout the site. So I mean, that's the 80-20, right? The 80-20 is good website, keyword in the title and the H1, good unique content, pages for each of the services, pages for each of the cities on page, and that really gets you, quite a ways down the track. So, I mean, at this point in the presentation, I'd like to hear, does anybody want to volunteer their website? I'll pull it up and I'll just do a quick on-the-spot audit. I find that if I pause and I use a real example from something that's not baked into my presentation, it works better. Okay, good. So Chris is volunteering his website, Stuesman Services. All right, so Stuesman Services. Well, water pump, landscape services. Ooh, nice team down here. Wow, I didn't realize, that looks like you got a nice sized team. Let's see. Okay, and I'm going to keep my feedback from a conversion optimization. From a SEO perspective, and I'll probably keep this up because we'll talk about it from from a conversion perspective as well. So again, knowing what you know now, first thing you want to look at is your title tag. So this says Stuesman Services, Plumbing, Well, and Landscape. So there's a geo modifier that's missing in the title, in my opinion. So it says Stuesman Services, and it looks like you guys are based in Albany, Oregon. So theoretically, up here we would say Albany, Plumbing, Well, Landscape. You might be going for too much in the title here. Well, water, landscape. So really, what we'd like to see here in the H1 is your Albany area plumbing, landscaping contractor, right? So homepage, I think it's clear. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. There's some clear things that now could be done in order to improve the optimization of this particular homepage to tell Google what this page is about and what it should rank for. Let's see. So we do have pages for the services. So let's kind of drill down. Let's look at repiping. So you've created pages, and that's good. That's the first step. And you actually even have a video. It doesn't look like it's custom to you. It looks like it's kind of a general video. You've got a video for the for the services, but there's no geo modifier. So it's just saying repiping, and this is just saying water heaters. So in the perfect world, we'd love this to say, Albany water heater installation and repair. And if you're thinking about, installing a new water heater, we're your guys. Yaddy, dotty, 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 dotty. So that's the second thing, getting our geo modifiers in here, incorporating it into the title tag and the H1 tag. And then, let's see, service area. Unless I'm missing it, I don't see a service area. Oh, there is service area. Let's see. So it looks like we do it at Albany, Salem, Eugene, Sweet Home. It looks like you cover a wide area, but there's not pages for each of these. So there's an opportunity to create pages with unique content targeting each of these cities, and that would help. That would give you more a broader range of where your company can rank in search. So I want to hear from you guys in comments. Was it helpful to see that as a real example? Some areas for improvement and kind of bridge the gap. Okay, title tag, H1 tag, unique content, pages for each of the services, pages for each of the cities. Somebody give me something in comments on this. Helpful. Okay, good. All right. Phil, since you volunteered your website, call Roberts Plumbing. I'm going to come back to that when we start looking at on-page optimization. So there we have it. Like, that's from a on-page optimization perspective. Those are the key things you want to look at, right? Pages for each of the services, pages for each of the cities, title tags, H1 tags, meta descriptions, unique content. Get that, and you're like 80% of the way to having a good website that can rank really well in the non-paid listings. The next thing we want to think about is the website built to convert, right? Because we talked about with the example of Shamrock, there was a time he was getting lots of traffic, but he wasn't getting calls because the website was generic and it didn't have any reason for somebody to want to choose them versus the competition. So fact is, you can be ranked well, you can have all kinds of traffic, but if your website doesn't compel somebody to choose you and to pick up that phone and to start a conversation, it won't make you as much money. It won't generate as many leads as it could and as it should. So I'm just going to pull up, again, another example here. How do we optimize our website for conversion? So this is a company we work with in Plainfield, Illinois, called TR Miller. They're a heating, cooling contractor company. And the one thing you'll notice on all of our websites and in all of our clients that perform well is that we try and focus on authenticity. Authenticity. People want to do business with real people. And so the opposite of authenticity is stock photography, like pictures of a random guy with a wrench, pictures of a happy family smiling. That might look pretty. It might make you feel good about your website, but nobody wants to do business with stock. They want to deal like, okay, this is a real company. Look, I can see their trucks. I can see their friendly faces. I can see that they run a solid, legitimate operation. And so having authenticity goes a long way in how well your website can convert. So that's the first thing, authenticity. And I like that authenticity to come by way of pictures and multimedia, where possible. So at a minimum, it would be a picture of the owner or a picture of the team, and then it would be a picture, and then it would be videos of the team, video of the different services. The other thing when it comes to how well your website converts is obviously you want it to be professional, you want it to be clean, but you want to be speaking to the customer's questions and apprehensions. So like when somebody needs a plumbing or HVAC contractor, what are they thinking? What are their concerns, right? A lot of times it's like, are they going to be available when I need them? So like 24-hour service. Are they going to be fair with their price? Am I going to know when we're going to get ripped off, right? So talking about straightforward pricing. Do they care, right? And so making sure that you speak to those questions throughout your website has a big impact on how well it converts. Making it easy for them to communicate with you. So like to fill out a web form on your website, to engage in a chat conversation. We're finding a lot of our clients, customers, prefer to engage via chat these days, as opposed to just picking up the phone. So you got to give them the opportunity to engage in the in the mechanism that's most comfortable for them. So phone number in the top right-hand corner, lots of personality and authenticity. We want to make sure that we've got calls to action throughout the website that tell them exactly what to do next. We want to make sure that we're leveraging social proof, right? You can say anything you want about how good you are, what a great company you have, but what customers really want to know is what are your customers saying about you? So, 100 reviews, 1,000 reviews, that speaks volumes to the kind of company that you have. So having a place on your website where you showcase the real reviews from your real customers can be extremely powerful from a conversion optimization perspective. And the other conversion element that I really want to make sure you don't forget is mobile optimized. Right? More and more of your traffic is getting to your website on a mobile phone. Your website should be oriented where somebody can quickly get the information they need. They can click a button and call. And if not, your website's definitely not going to convert as well as it should. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Who wants to volunteer their website for a quick conversion optimization audit? Now that we know what we're looking for, right? We're looking for personality. We're looking for clear call to action. We're looking for the ability to engage via chat. Those are the kind of things that really amp conversion rates. And so since we had Stuesman Services up earlier, Chris, I hope you don't mind me picking on you again. And please, I'd love to have one or two of you kind of volunteer your website so we can do this real quick to kind of filter this concept through so you can see it in the real world. So good news is we do have a phone number in the top right-hand corner. Bad news is the initial sense that I get when I get to the site is not a world-class operation, right? There's no pictures of the team up here. It's not really speaking to why I would want to do business. It's just kind of listing the different services that you guys provide. A little bit of USB type messaging. And then, but down here we do have a team shot. So I mean, if anything, I think the biggest thing for you guys would be to take this team shot, which looks like a great company, looks like great smiling faces, and bring that to the top. Like, this is Stuesman Services. We're plumbing, well services, landscaping, and that really goes a long way from a conversion perspective. The other two things that kind of stand out to me, I don't see an opportunity to engage with you guys via chat, so there's no chat box on here, and I have to go to the Contact Us page to fill out the form, and it's a little bit lengthy. So hopefully that helps. I'm going to pull up Phil. You volunteered yours for Carl Roberts, so let's take a quick look here. All right. So I've got your website up, and good team shot here. Personality based, request service, get coupons. That's a great start. Phone number in the top right-hand corner. A lot of the basic things we need. We've got some, authority symbols up here above the fold. Good messaging, emergencies, tired of getting machines. So pretty solid. I think this is a pretty well optimized for conversion website. A couple things that do stand out to me are no chat that I'm seeing unless I missed it. And let's see what else. No chat. There's a review. Maybe I come down here. I think you could do a little more assertive job showing the great reviews that you have as your company. This is pretty good, but there's room for improvement on how well it could convert. So hopefully, guys, this was helpful. You kind of saw a couple of examples of websites that are built to convert. You kind of looked at it through the lens of conversion, and so we could probably thank you guys for volunteering your website. We could probably go 45 minutes or so looking at conversion type stuff, but those are the main things: easy, authenticity, social factors, showcasing the positive online reviews, making sure that the website is mobile optimized, and so on this one, is your website optimized for conversion? Right? I just want you to think, if there's one or two things you could do based on what we've just covered on this part of the session. Like, what would they be? One or two things you could do to improve the conversion rate of your website. I don't want you to put that on your worksheet, or I want you to write it down on a scratch pad, and just type it into comments for me real quick. What are a couple things you could do that it would improve your conversion rate? Videos, multimedia, live chat, phone number in the top right-hand corner. Lots of things that can have a really big impact on your conversion rates. Chris says eliminate stock photography. Yeah, why not? So I'm just going to show an example. So this is one of the companies that we worked with. We've been working with for over 4 years now. It's Laney's. They're based in Fargo, North Dakota. And when we started working with them, this was their website over here on the left. So logo, stock style image. It did have a picture of the truck, but very basic. And then we rolled out an updated version of their website, which I'll show you in a sec. Personality based, phone number, top right hand corner. Really speaking to the subconscious buying factors. And we started tracking their calls right out of the gates. And before we really did anything on their site, they were averaging about 55 calls per month via the internet. And this company's pretty well branded. They run a lot of radio ads. They run a lot of billboards in their market. They're in Fargo. And just by rolling out the new website with the right conversion elements, they jumped from 55 to 317 calls. So they were getting traffic. They just weren't converting that traffic at the level that they could because the website just didn't represent the quality of an operation that they ran. Now, if we fast forward to January of this year, they had 930 leads generated via the internet. 930 leads, almost all organic. So they don't do any paid search. They're just focused organic, and they do a lot of brand advertising. Their website is just a conversion machine. So 326 via organic, 586 via Google Maps, 36 people filled out web forms on their website, and the volume is pretty significant. So let me just pull up their website so you can see. I'm going to go again. This is just so you can get a visual glimpse of this. So let's type in. So typed in Fargo, North Dakota plumber. Here you can see here they're on organic right there on the map. 670 online reviews. So this is a website that generates just about 970 leads via the internet. Personality, we get the CD owner, phone number in the top right-hand corner, messaging speaking right to them. Really the ability to make a buying decision right in this initial screen without even really having to scroll and read the rest of it. Of course, if they want to, there's lots of additional supporting material, why them, what their buying experience is, live chat so people can integrate, so people can interact. And we find obviously these elements have a very big impact on how well the website converts and the amount of money that you can make through your website as a plumbing or HVAC contractor. So we've just done a micro masterclass in conversion optimization and how to, some little things you can look at to make your website convert that much better, right? Because again, if we don't convert the visitors that we get, we're not going to really maximize our lead flow. We're not going to maximize our opportunity. So from there, the next piece is, do we have enough authority to get the website to rank on the first page? Because oftentimes, you can optimize it right. Keyword in the title, keyword in the H1, good content, pages for each of the services, pages for each of the cities, but the website still doesn't rank. I don't know how many of you guys can relate to that. You feel like you did all of it, but it just didn't rank the way that you needed it to, the way that you wanted it to. Anybody can relate to that? So I'm getting some yeses. Yep. Okay. So the reason is you don't have enough authority. And you need to have somebody that's focused on building links, building citations, building authority. At the end of the day, he who has the most authority and the quality relevant links tends to win. And so, again, we could talk for a long time about this. I like to talk high level. There's lots of easy elements that you can tap into to drive links for your plumbing or HVAC company. And you have to be building authority content, right? You should be blogging, you should be updating your website. That is what makes your website relevant in Google's engine. That's what makes your website rank, on the first page instead of the fifth or the sixth page. And so really, again, I could talk for 20 minutes about this, but really what I just want you to do is do a gut check and say, are we consistently creating new content? Are we blogging? Do we have somebody on our team that's proactively getting links back to the homepage, back to those service pages, back to those city pages, and monitoring the progress of the results. Because if you don't, you should never, like, if you're not proactively doing this work, you can't expect the website to rise in the search results, right? You have to be building authority in addition to having a good website, in addition to having a website that's properly optimized for the search engines. And I hope you're starting to see, like, there are layers to this, right? There's a strategy, but when you put the whole strategy in play, you can really generate great results and really double, triple, 10x your sales by getting your internet marketing strategy right. So here was just an example. Again, we were looking at Meridian Company a little bit earlier. If we run a bunch of searches, they rank for all of those keywords. The data behind organic, right? The data behind ranking organically is, if we looked at their report, and this was January of 2018, 495 calls on a $6,000 investment, so an average of $12 per lead, but 150 of those came from Google Maps. 208 came from the organic listings. So if all we were thinking about was paid search, if all we were thinking about was Facebook advertising or something like that, we would have missed almost 350 or more than 350 leads. And so that's 72% of their lead flow coming from organic sources and organic search. So that's just making the case. Look, don't just set and forget it with your website. Set up a website, optimize it, build the links, build the citations, and build the authority, because there's a lot at stake. And the other thing is, you'll find the quality of the leads that you get from organic search results versus paid search or versus Google local service ads tends to be higher. It tends to be they chose you as the provider as opposed to just clicking and dialing the first company that they came across. The other thing you want to look at is, are you ranking in a 3-pack? Because sometimes you can rank organically, but you don't rank in maps. And when you're not ranking in maps, you're going to be missing a lot of the opportunities. And so when it comes to getting ranked on Google Maps, really there's only 3 key things. It's making sure you've got a properly claimed and optimized Google My Business listing, making sure that you've got consistency of how your website is referenced across the web on all of the little online directories with the same name, address, phone number, and making sure that you've got a proactive strategy for generating new reviews month in and month out. Really having a strategy where after every service call, thank you goes out and the person is directed to a page where they can write an online review. So, I mean, I've got this on the checkbox. You want to look at this. Do you have access to your Google My Business? Are you properly optimized? Are your online directories consistent across the web? If you'd like us to run an audit just on the Google My Business piece of this for you, we'd be glad to. Just let us know. We've got all kinds of great tools that can help us see, is there an issue with consistency? Is it that you don't have enough reviews? Is it that you don't have enough citations, to help you get really clear on what the gap is and why you're not ranking in the 3-pack in your service area? So, good example of this, again, Mason, Ohio, Nixco Plumbing, just from the Google Maps, just from being ranked in the 3-pack there, over 183 leads a month just from Google Maps. So don't sleep on Google Maps. Here's a company we work with in Buffalo, New York. So if we go and we type in Buffalo Plumber, you'll see Salino Plumbing HVAC comes up at the very top. They're also ranked really high organically. Been working with them for quite some time. And really getting ranked on the map comes down to those 3 things I said, and having a good website with good on-page factors, with the name, address, phone number kind of reference. And this is a multi-location client where they're not just in Buffalo, they're also in Elm. And if you look at it from a holistic perspective, right? Ranking well, good on-page optimization, good website that's built to convert with all of the right on-page factors. And I'll just kind of show you the numbers here for Salino's. So 684 leads a month via the internet on a $9,000 investment via paid search and management fees to us. Average cost per lead, $13.24. And 148 leads a month directly via the Google Map. So don't ignore the Google Map. Don't ignore the 3-pack. So the next thing on our list is social media. There's a play for social media because it passes social signals. It kind of tells whether you're active in your community or not. But really, to me, social media is a play to help you generate more repeat and referral business. And really, if you can get your real customers to like you, to subscribe to you, to follow you, it's just a way to remain top of mind. It's a way to stay in their feed, to stay ever present, and drive more repeat and referral business. You could probably talk 30 minutes about social media, social advertising, but I think at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you've got claimed profiles, that they're properly optimized with a nice image, nice icon, and that you've got somebody updating those on a relatively frequent basis. It would drive more repeat and referral business for your business. The next is email marketing. Like if we want to truly maximize our lead flow via the internet, we need to make sure we've got a strategy to remain top of mind with our customer base. So this might be, outside of even what you were thinking, but you get calls every day from your customers. You get emails every day from your prospects. You should be collecting an email database. You should be collecting SMS numbers from your prospects and your customers so that you can contact them. And a great example of this, it was about 2015. We started working with Daniel Cordova. He went from 0 to over $1 million in about the first 12 to 24 months. And, he got his internet stuff dialed in. But at the end of the day, the main thing that drove his results, if you ask him, was that he was very proactive in sending emails and doing an email newsletter to his database. So I really want you to think about that. Do you have a CRM like MailChimp or Constant Contact where you're collecting the names and email addresses of your customers? And are you sending at least one email blast per month to re-engage that customer base? And this is Daniel Cordova's numbers. He's in Rancho Cordova, California. $7,100 investment, 281 leads per month. Average cost per lead about $25 per lead. Good distribution from organic, pay-per-click, and Google Maps. Again, Google Maps being a big driver of the results. So if email marketing, make sure you've got some type of database where you're storing this contact information. You're storing it and you're like really thinking about it. So hopefully as you're going through your notes here and you're checkboxing this stuff off, you're getting really clear, okay, these are some things, right? Oh man, we're not doing email yet. Or we're not like collecting SMS numbers. And there's golden nuggets in here that can really impact the growth and the potential of your business. So are you leveraging email? Like, do you have that database? Are you sending out a newsletter? And are you leveraging email to drive online reviews and to draw customers in? So far we've talked about the foundation, right? You'll notice there's like very little cost element associated with anything we've talked about so far, right? In a foundation being a good website that's built to convert, optimized for the different keywords, right? Link building and citations to generate organic non-paid listings. A strategy to drive online reviews and really make sure that you're ranking well in the map listings and the non-paid listings. Tapping into email marketing, tapping into social media. And really, I'd like to say you want to have a strong foundation and you want your pyramid to kind of be built like this. Good website that's built to convert, strong social presence, and then start investing in the paid search strategies, pay-per-click advertising, Angie's listing, Google local service ads, right? You need a strong foundation, and with a strong foundation, everything else that you do works better. So the next question then is, are you taking advantage of pay-per-click advertising, like Google AdWords, Google local service ads, paid ads on Angie's List? I can tell you, organic SEO will get you to a certain level, but at a certain point, it maxes out, and there's only so far it can go. Starting to tap into paid search gives you unlimited scalability, where you can say, okay, we're ready to add that next truck, let's spend more. Hey, we're ready to go hire 2 more techs, let's spend more. You know where to spend it, and you've got it under control in the right way. Now, what I find is most pay-per-click campaigns fail. I would be curious, have you tried pay-per-click and it was a loss for you at some level in your plumbing or HVAC business? Put a yes if it has been for you in your business. And there's lots of reasons why pay-per-click campaigns don't work out right. there's lots of strategy that go into making it work correctly. But I find it like most of the larger companies, they treat plumbing, HVAC like a single bucket, right? They just want to say, all right, we're gonna bid on plumbing. We're gonna put all the plumbing keywords in there. We're gonna have one ad group for it, and it's gonna land on the homepage of the company's website. And that really fails to understand the way the Google AdWords auction process works. It really fails to understand relevancy, because if someone types in AC repair, they're in a different place mentally looking for something totally different than if they typed in AC installation, right? Or if they typed in drain cleaning, they're in a different place mentally than if they typed in plumber. So what we found is, to get around this, what you need to do is make sure that you've kind of mapped your online marketing strategy, your pay-per-click strategy, so that it's grouped, right? So if you've got ad groups matched to all of the different services that you provide. You've got specific text ads that speak to those particular things they were looking for. Landing pages that resonate. Okay, I was looking for drain cleaning. The ad said, same-day drain cleaning services, unclogged guarantee, right? And then they land on a page that speaks directly to that service. Hey, if you're thinking about if you've got a clogged drain, we're your guys. Here's a special discount to take action now to get your drain situation squared away. That's the recipe for success with pay-per-click advertising. So are you taking advantage of paid search? Are you running Google AdWords? Do you know what your average cost per click is? Are you tapping into local service ads? I'll give you a good example of this. One of the companies we work with in Indianapolis is Peterman Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. They're a large, $10 million a year company at this point now and growing. You can see total investment in online, $12,000, 521 leads via the internet, 135 from organic, 202 from paid per click, 150 from Google Maps. And as they've grown, they've been able to diversify their strategy. And if they weren't doing paid search, they wouldn't have that lever to continue turning up and to continue growing their results. And I think really part of the key with paid search is to make sure that you've got your tracking. So here's how much we're spending, here's how many leads we're generating, here's our average cost per lead. Is that cost per lead manageable for us to generate service calls, service revenue, and if so, can we scale it up? And if not, then we need to dial in something within our campaign. But once you've got those metrics figured out, it's almost like a North Star that you can really scale to the moon with your online pay-per-click advertising. So just a couple examples of good return on investment that can be had through paid search. I'll just kind of hit the metrics here. This is a company in Miami, Florida called Falcon Plumbing, and 237 leads, 40% conversion rate typically is what we're seeing from lead to book job. 94 book job, average ticket for a plumbing company, in their case $550, $51,000 in revenue on a $3,842 investment in paid search. So there's 13-time return on investment in a relatively big market of Miami, Florida. So we can see an average of between 5 and 15 time return on investment from paid search. What I find is if you can do that, and there's enough search volume for it that you can continue to scale it up, you've got a scalable model to continue to generate leads, to generate calls, and to expand your business. Now, the final thing in our circle is local service ads. Right, in almost every market across the United States, when we search plumbing company right now, at the very top is local service ads. And it would be remiss of me not to say, look, you need to know what local service ads are. You should be investing in local service ads in your area. There's a process to it, like you have to get some background checks done. You have to get accepted, and you need to follow some rules. I've got a great training on this that I did a couple months ago. If you're interested in looking at it, it walks you through exactly what you need to do to optimize your local service ads account to make sure that you're showing up in the 3-pack, to make sure that you're getting as many leads as you can, because your average cost per lead via local service ads tends to be your lowest cost per lead, and the quality right now is still very, very good. So I highly recommend that you're tapping into the power of local service ads. And the last piece of our whole strategy here, our digital dominance method, and really how to triple your sales by getting your internet marketing right, is to make sure that you have precision tracking in place. your tracking is kind of your North Star, right? And you might think to yourself, I don't really know if I need to track. I don't need to know how much I spent and what my average cost per lead is and where my money went. The fact is, if you don't know, your advertising campaign will fail. Without question, it's not like, oh, well, maybe it won't work well, or maybe I'll lose some money, or maybe it will just be 100%. If you don't know your numbers and you don't know down to the dollar, here's how much went to Google AdWords, here's how much went to organic, here's how many leads I generated from various sources, here's what my average cost per lead was, your campaign is destined to fail. So a couple tracking mechanisms I really recommend that you put in place. Google Analytics, so you know how much traffic got to your site, what they typed in to get there, how long they stayed. You want to have some type of online ranking report so that you can see where you're ranking for the various keywords in your area. You want to have call tracking in place, and you need to use dynamic number insertion so that if somebody gets to the website or gets to your ad via organic, they see one number and that's tracked one way. If they come through paid search, they see a different number and it's tracked that way. It needs to be pushing all the way down into your Google AdWords campaign so that you can see your average cost per lead via paid search and what your average cost per lead per ad group is and which keywords are generating the best results. And ultimately, in my mind, the last piece of your tracking needs to be some type of CRM, customer service management system or dispatching tool that's tied to your marketing. So the best example of this is Service Titan, where you can ring into your pay-per-click call number, dispatch your jobs through there, book the revenue through there, and really see your true return on investment. I think that's the gold star of tracking. At a minimum, though, you need to have call tracking in place and some type of mechanism to see here's what we spent, here's our average cost per lead, here's our projected return on investment. Because with that, you can really scale it, you can really control it, and you can really take it to the next level. So how are you gauging your internet marketing? Again, if you don't have a good marketing tracking mechanism in place, you're guessing, right? And you never want to gamble, you never want to guess with your advertising spend. So do you have Google Analytics? Are you tracking your keyword rankings? Do you have call tracking in place? Do you have a CRM? Is Webmaster Tools in place? These are all things that you need to have done as you grow, as you close out the year, and as you really look to get this in place. So we've come full circle. We've come through all of the check boxes for this how to triple your sales by getting your internet marketing right. We've showed you examples. We've showed you case studies. We've given you specifics. If you've gotten value from this session, post in comments. Yes, this has been good. This has been helpful. And let me know what you liked best. Did you like best the specific explanation? Did you like best the case studies and examples? I'd love to know so I can fine-tune this and make sure that it's really as useful as possible for you. And really what I want you to do is go through that workbook, and I'd like you to have like 3 or 4 things that okay, I know we need to do this, right? We need to get multimedia on our website. We need to implement chat. We need to, get the tracking in place so we really know our average cost per lead and we know where our dollars are going, right? That's why I created this in a checklist format. So it'd be very easy for you to have an action plan. Where do we go from here? What do we do? What do we do next? So you've got the plan. If you'd like some help with this, if you'd like to talk with us about how we can help you, what I want you to do is just in comments, type in lead flow session. If you type in lead flow session, Christian, Kirsten on our team will reach out to you. We'll schedule a time. And what we'll do is we'll do a complete analysis of what we've talked about on this session today. Right? We'll look at we'll develop that list of keywords for you, the most commonly searched keywords in your area. We'll run it through a ranking report to show you exactly where you rank on Google and Yahoo and Bing so that you can find whether there's room for improvement or not. We'll do an analysis of your conversion elements, like is your website truly built to convert, or are there problems? And then we'll talk about how we can help, right? And if it makes sense for us to help. Not every case it does, and that's okay too. But if that sounds good to you, call us at 866-610-4647 or type in plumberseo.net/schedule. That'll take you to a page where you can enter the name, contact details, and pick a time for us to meet one-on-one. All right, so I see Yana and Robert and a couple of others saying you want it. Great. We will reach out to you ASAP on this. If you don't mind, just put it in your, the best email address to reach out to you on. That way we can make sure to reach out and get this scheduled for you right away. So that's a wrap. It's been an honor to go through this with you. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I hope you're able to implement this stuff to really help your company go to the next level, help your company generate more leads, generate more sales, dominate your local online marketplace. Chris, Robert, thanks guys. We'll get this on the schedule for you right away. And if you have any questions, feel free to post it in the comments here, or feel free to reach out to us. Most of you guys should be in the Plumbing and HVAC Online Marketing Mastermind group, which is a great group on Facebook where we share some of our best ideas and strategies. And it's a great place you've got access to me, you've got access to my team in there, you've got access to Christian, my Director of Business Development, and you've got access to a couple of thousand other successful plumbing and HVAC companies. So if you're not in that group, definitely reach out to me and say, hey Josh, I want to get in that group as well. But that's it. That's it for now. Thank you guys for your time, and I'll look forward to talking with you soon.